So, what is going on, everybody? We just got back from Zombieland Double Tap. This is Mac from Concussion Media, and this is, as always, my wonderful, amazing friend Forrest, also from Concussion Media. So yeah, I was gonna start off by saying that was a fucking good movie.
Yeah, this actually exceeded my expectations.
Tremendously exceeded every expectation I had. I was like going to this thing and okay, they're gonna make a sequel. It's gonna be all right, passable at best.
As with most sequels, you're like,
Especially after such a long time.
Yeah, I think that's what helped. I think because it had been such a long time, like if we're going to do a sequel, we have to put a lot of time and effort into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the thing that I liked about this movie is they fixed the number one problem that people had with the first one.
What was that?
Not enough zombies.
Well, yeah, I mean, you really get a lot of zombies to like about the third act.
Yeah. Oh, well, there was more zombies, like in the first zombie, like even in well, yeah, in the first Zombieland. Couldn't talk for a second. Like all the zombies came in the third act, but in the second one, there was kind of a lot more zombies throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, from start to finish, you get a lot of zombies.
Yeah, I thought they were just gonna remake the first movie, basically, and do like all the same jokes. There is a lot of references to the first movie, and there's a lot of callback jokes, but they do a very good job, in my opinion, of diverting from that and like actually having like an actual like part two to this story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was excited because I enjoyed the same comedy that I did with the first one. Because that's what I really liked about Zombieland was that it just had great comedy throughout, and you just get and you still get that great. It didn't leave us just like, hey, it could have made a sequel the following year. I didn't feel like the characters were like way different. I think everyone stuck to the same character that they were before. I mean, of course, it was like character growth, but you're like, hey, these are the same guys I remember.
Yeah, they were basically the same characters, but that was fine. This movie's really funny. I was laughing the entire time, basically. I was laughing the loudest in the theater. Actually.
Yes, you were.
You
were super loud.
I was really funny to me. It was really tremendously funny. Did you think it was funny?
Oh yeah. No, I definitely enjoyed the humor in there. It was very, very funny.
The writing was amazing. Like I honestly thought the writing was spot on.
I know. There's so much I want to go into without spoiling anything.
It's very hard to go into this movie without spoiling because there's a lot of really cool concepts that they bring in, but I don't want to like spoil. Like I don't know, like if like I'm even allowed to like talk about that. Mm. Like I'll talk about what I remember from the trailers. But sorry, what were you gonna say?
I think. Well, the main story plot is practical and understanding, so it's not like something ridiculous or something stupid. You're like, okay, you can. There's I guess some of the pros I read in this movie is like, okay, yeah, that's relatable.
Yeah, and I think they did a very good job of like going back to this world, and this movie I will say has the best after credit scenes of all time.
Yeah.
Like after that was wonderful.
If you're going to see the movie, do stay a little after, and you're going to definitely enjoy some end credit scenes.
It was the quickest turnaround time for an end credit scene too, because like it played like 2 seconds into the credits, but that was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? The actress from the new character that joined the group for like in that we saw in the trailers, the actress from Jumanji 2, the like the ditzy, like,
the ditzy blonde,
the ditzy blonde. I thought I was gonna hate her and I was gonna be annoyed with her.
From the trailers, you're like, this is what's probably gonna lower that's what lowered my expectations this
season. Oh, completely for me too. I was like, shit, they're trying to like do this thing and.
But she actually fit right in.
Yeah, it was actually really funny, and her interacting with the group was very funny, and I really enjoyed her presence in the movie. I didn't expect to like her character, but she had some really funny comedic moments.
Yeah, she was great. There are there are some new characters in this movie, but I don't really think there are any that I disliked. I mean, they all had a pretty good, fun purpose and helped continue on with the story. What did you think with the new characters that were thrown in?
I like the new characters. I thought they added. I think that this movie needed to have these new characters, and I thought they were all really funny. They wrote all these characters like to interact with, like the dynamics that they created with the new characters were really funny, and I really enjoyed this movie. I'm glad because like we've had all these serious movies, and like this was just a fun, good time. Like this is Zombieland, you know, it's a zombie movie, and it was a good zombie movie.
Yeah, and but it's a humorous one. That's what I really like about this zombie movie, about Zombieland, the first one and the sequel. It's just like I'm like, yeah, because everyone else is very dark and dramatic zombie flicks, and this one's just like, it's just fun and lighthearted that so many people can enjoy.
Yeah, this was honestly extraordinarily good, and I didn't think this movie was going to be as good as it was when I went and saw it. And I want to talk about it but I don't want to spoil anything. And it's kind of hard to talk about the stuff that they implement in this movie without spoiling anything. I can't even because in the trailers you don't really know the basic plot. Mm-hmm. It's over the top. It's crazy. It's a really fun, good time, and it's like some stuff like the way that they are interacting with each other. It's just a fun, good time. I don't really know what else to go into without spoiling. I might think of something. Is there anything else? Is there anything you wanted to say? This is gonna be a really quick non-spoiler section if we can't.
Yeah, just real quick. I just think that the characters in the first one, the chemistry they had, just continued on with a sequel, and I just if you watch them back to back, it's a good like seamless transition.
It is. Oh yeah, it is, and I like what they did with the passage of time.
You're never gonna be like, well, this isn't the Zombieland I remembered.
It's like completely going back to an old friend, and I love the references that they make are hilarious, and there's a lot of calling back to the first movie in this, but it's those were some of the funniest parts to me when they would do stuff like that, and I loved it.
So overall, what would you give a rating?
I'm gonna say this is a strong 7.
Okay.
Yeah, a strong 7. I was gonna do like a 7.5, but like, I don't know. Do we do half ratings?
No, we just round up.
We just round up. I was gonna do a 7.5 and maybe an 8, but I'm like, is it an 8? Oh, I had a really good time with it though, so it might. I don't know. I'm gonna say a high 7. I'm gonna say a high 7.
Is there a low 7?
Yeah, I think there might be in the future. All right.
So you're gonna give it a solid 7?
A solid 7 with you must see this in theaters because this is a very good time.
Okay. I mean, I did really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely revisit it.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. For me, I'll go with a 6.
A 6?
A 6.
Why?
There's just
explain yourself, sir.
It was very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. It's zombies, and I get it, and I think I don't know. I think it's probably more of a just like a realism.
What do you mean by realism?
Oh yeah, well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah,
spoil anything. But there's just some things I'm just like, yeah, right.
Oh, you mean like the over the top stuff?
Yeah, I think it's just the over top that gets me. But at the same time, I respect it. But
yeah,
Just from like just from the perspectives I have on the film, I feel like a good, and for me like for like a horror comedy, like I think a 6 isn't bad.
Oh yeah.
I think like there's a lot of like horror comedies are just like, oh, that was so awful.
Oh, for sure. This was that's because the writing is usually pretty bad on those. Like the writing on this one was honestly solid, and like the effects they used and the world that they built was actually like pretty solid. Like there was actually like action sequences in this one, which there was only one in the first one, but they stuck with the hard R, and I don't think this film is going to do as good as the first one, but I thought it was like a crazy ride. I think like this is a must see, and like if you have the first one like on disc, I would buy this one too when it comes out.
Yeah, this is definitely the number 2 movie of October, hands down for sure.
The number 2 movie of October. Oh, what was the other movies that we saw in October?
Oh wait, was Ad Astra in September or October?
Well, Joker came out right in the beginning of October, like October 4th.
Yeah, so Ad Astra would have been September.
September 20. Like it was September.
Yeah.
It was late September.
So
the number 2 for October for sure.
Joker and Zombieland. I mean, 2 different,
completely different.
Yeah, completely different, but 2 worthwhile movies.
Oh, completely.
About all the movies that have been released this month. I did really like Zombieland. I think it's just the over the top stuff that kind of like got me.
Yeah.
After I found like it's a bit annoying, but and the story I thought was okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, it's whatever. But I did enjoy the humor. And I think it was well written, and there were some great fun action scenes. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 6.
Are you like a huge fan of the first one?
Yeah. But the first one I probably give like a solid 7.
Okay. So like, I loved the first one like a lot. I think I'd give the first one maybe. I feel guilty giving it, like, that's why I didn't want to give it an 8, because I feel guilty giving it an 8, because I feel like I'm biased because I have such nostalgia for the first one. Like, it has like stuff that appeals to me. Like it plays Metallica as the intro.
Yeah, I'll get you.
And then it did that for the second one too, and I was like, hey, this is my movie. And zombies, 2009, that was like my edgy state. Like Left 4 Dead came out, Prototype came out. I was in a huge zombie phase, so I don't know, and like I loved the first Zombieland. So like for me, like this is just as good as the first one for me. I think like I just saw the first one like a few weeks ago, and like watching them side by side, I think this one was just as good as the first one. And like I want to give this movie an 8, but like, screw it. I'm gonna give this film an 8. It's a great film for me.
So the first film's an 8 and the second film's an 8.
Yep, both 8s.
That's all right.
Stand out. Like these 2 movies are gonna go down as some of my favorite movies, I think, like of all time. Just cause I don't know. I love the over the top humor. Like I know what I'm going in for when I see this movie. It's gonna be fun. Just zombie killing, over the top characters, and it's just, I love it. It was just, I don't know. It's just hit me in the right places.
Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad that it met your expectations. I did enjoy the film. Absolutely.
Oh, it was an amazing time. It was hilarious. I haven't laughed so much in a long time, and it was fun. Okay, so is there anything you want to add before we go into non-spoilers?
Non-spoilers?
Oh, sorry.
I go into
the spoiler section.
Yes.
Is there anything you wanted to add before we didn't?
No. I think we have it covered for a non-spoiler section.
Okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, or I'm sorry, if you're going to go see the movie, stop listening now, and if you're not, then keep listening. We're about to go into some spoilers, so I'll see you in the next video if you guys are leaving now. Peace. All right. Spoilers.
Yes. I thought the intro was great. Like you said, it had played Metallica.
Master Puppets, hell yeah! I was cheering on in the theater. My girlfriend was very embarrassed.
I thought it was great. The setup was, hey, we're gonna move into the White House.
That was hilarious. Like I was like, this is Zombieland. They're moving into the White House and then they're destroying everything.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, and then yeah, it was pretty awesome. You're like, okay, you have. Hold on, I'm blanking on the characters' names.
Tallahassee,
Tallahassee,
Columbus,
Little Rock, Columbus, and I keep forgetting that.
Wichita. Yeah.
So Wichita and Columbus are like, closer together, and Columbus wants to like pop the question to her, and you have Little Rock, who's now, what we say, like college freshman years now.
Yeah, I'd say she's like 18, 19 years old.
And, well, it makes sense, she wants to find a companion.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only them. So.
Yeah.
And Tallahassee's kind of getting on her nerves, just like, well, I guess most dads get on their daughter's nerves. I don't know if that was like a stereotype.
I thought the White House was that joke was gonna get old really quick, and they used all the props like in the White House like hilariously, like George Washington's like flintlock, like a sword, like a sword that was gifted to a guy from Japan. He gave Little Rock Elvis's gun that he gifted Nixon. Like it was really
my
cool.
My favorite part is that he used the painting of President Taft because he was the fattest president. He was like, "Oh, there's more left over if you ever need more wrapping paper." I thought that was pretty funny.
So okay, this is what I've been dying to talk about the whole time. I just forgotten. I just remembered. I loved what they did with the zombies. I loved that they're like, oh, they're evolving. There's different types now. I think they needed to do that. Otherwise, this movie would have basically been the first one, like too much of the first one. Like the Terminator zombies, like were
T-800s.
The T-800s, yeah, the Terminator zombies were terrifying.
You had the Homer,
which were like
the Homer was that was probably one of my favorite zombies.
The dumb zombies, and then there's the hawking ones, which are the smart ones that could like climb up ladders and like unlock doors and shit.
Then you had the ninja.
Oh, the ninja! They didn't show the ninja.
That's one of the things that kind of like. I don't think we saw much of the Hawkins, or we didn't really see much. I mean, never saw the ninja.
We saw one Hawkins.
We did?
Yeah, we saw one Hawkins.
Besides the demo one.
Yeah, besides the one showing off what it was. When he was on top of the RV, and the zombie climbed up, she was saying Hawkins.
That.
Hawking.
Okay, I was like, is she calling? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like he was able to climb up the ladder.
But I really wanted to see the ninja at some point.
Yeah, I think there might be like an extended cut of this, and Probably. They might have the ninja in it. But now that I realize that, they didn't have the ninja.
Besides that demo, I did not see the ninja at all.
Yeah, all the rules are back, and I love the rules.
Yeah. And I like how they still like pop up.
Yeah, I love.
That's one of the things I just loved about like the first movie.
Yeah,
like, oh, that's
to the charm.
So clever. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm. I love. Oh, so like I'm gonna be real. Like when I saw the trailers, like when they showed like what is it called? What's Owen Wilson? Owen Wilson's character. That's or not Owen. Who's Owen Wilson's brother?
Owen Wilson?
Yeah, Owen Wilson. The blonde guy with the broken nose.
Are you talking about Woody Harrelson?
No. Owen Wilson's brother was in this movie. He was like the Woody Harrelson clone.
Oh, his character's name was
No, not like yeah.
I don't know. I don't know his brother's name. But yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Like the Woody Harrelson clone character and then the Jesse Eisenberg clone. So like when I saw them and then I saw the ditzy blonde and then I was like, okay, I'm not exactly excited for these new characters. I'm like, I don't like the jokes didn't like when the jokes that they use in the trailer. I didn't think were that funny, but they saved all the good jokes.
Which is good because I don't like when trailers she's like, "Hey, this is the best scenes."
Mm-hmm. And you know what was pissing me off? They kept saying Nevada wrong. They said Nevada, and no one from Nevada says that, and it was annoying me.
Well, that's how people back east say it, Nevada.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's wrong.
But they don't know that.
I know. They should if they're going back there.
Just like some people here call it Arkansas. We're not going to get into there. All right. And then,
say Nevada right.
Yeah,
it's upsetting.
So what we have, the big plot. So when the plot happened, well, one of the main plots that happen is the relationship dynamic between
Little Rock.
No, Wichita and Columbus.
Let's just say the actors' names. This is too hard. Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg's character.
Okay, so Jesse and Emma, he pops the question, she gets scared, and she and her sister take off.
Yeah, which I don't understand why you would get scared. It's like,
and she leaves a note of all things.
Yeah, she leaves a horribly written note that's like one sentence. Like the majority of the note is, "I'm bad at writing notes. Sorry," and it's like a 2-sentence note, and like that was the whole first sentence, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, what I could have said if you want to like, take a day by yourself, but like just pack your bags and leave.
Yeah,
that's cold. It's really cold.
Well, to be fair, in the first movie, they weren't exactly nice. Like they stole their car twice. They robbed them twice.
Well, yeah, but you thought they would have changed after going through all so much, and
yeah, that's true. But I don't know. You kind of gotta plot.
So they
plot sometimes.
They take off, and Woody Harrelson and Jesse, they're kind of like, well, what do we do now? Kind of thing, and they're just kind of chilling together for what do they say, like a month?
A month, yeah.
A month.
He's all mopey.
And they're just going through the mall and
on the what are those called? Mopeds?
Mopeds, yeah.
Are those called mopeds?
Or no, Segways.
Okay, yeah, Segways.
They're on Segways, just cruising around, and you have Jess that runs into Ditzy Blonde.
Ditzy Blonde, who
is Madison,
and they hook up immediately.
Pretty fast. I mean, well, she's been locked up in a freezer.
Yeah, for like
no guy in sight.
So like the thing that like I didn't like was like how much time has passed in the Zombieland time, because like I was trying to figure out like how much time has passed from like Little Rock, because like Little Rock in the first movie she was like 11, 12, maybe I think she was like 13, maybe. Like she wasn't like, I mean, she wasn't like young.
I say that about 8-10 years have passed.
Yeah, and then because like she's 18 now, so I was thinking like 5 or 6 like had to have passed, because she was like 12 in the first one, and like so I'm like she was in the freezer for 10 years, like 6 to 10 years.
Well, I'm sure she probably moved from freezer to freezer because that's all she knew.
Yeah.
And so she gets all googly eyes over Columbus.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. And they just hook up pretty quick.
Yeah, and then
within the same day.
Yeah, and then Emma Stone comes back at the worst timing ever, and she's like, we could possibly get back together. This could be a turning point. And then
he's like, yeah.
And then Ditzy Blonde walks down the stairs, and
that
was that was great. And then the hippie was just irritating, and I loved Woody Harrelson's reactions to learning about the hippie.
He's from Berkeley. Berkeley!
She's describing him, and he's just destroying. Pacifist! Doesn't use guns. He was so upset. And then the minivan. Oh my gosh, that minivan was killing.
That was a very ugly minivan.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I loved this movie. I can't wait to buy this thing so I can watch it again.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Oh man.
And yeah, as the movie progressed, I mean, the ditzy blonde was just added to the humor.
She was actually
She was like a catalyst for some
funny.
humor. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing was just really
She was
funny the whole time.
she was just like the perfect thing to put Jesse and Emma Stone in like awkward situations and create a lot of sarcasm. And yeah, it was pretty fun.
But one thing I did notice is like as soon as they would introduce characters, like they wouldn't be there for a long time. Like Ditsy Blonde was in the movie for at first for like 20 minutes, and then we thought she was like dead. Like I was like, did he kill her? I don't know, maybe because he wanted to leave pretty fast. So I was like, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And then like she was gone for like an hour,
Yeah.
and then like Woody Harrelson clone and Jesse Eisenberg clone came in, and they were on screen for like 10 minutes, which I'm glad they didn't have a more. I'm happy they didn't have a more substantial role because I was like I didn't think that they were funny from the trailers.
Yeah, I thought it was over the top, and I thought it would have been fun if they had like ran into each other like in more like in passing and like, oh, let's do like a whole scene with them.
Yeah.
I kind of thought like they kind of like overextended their stay,
Mm-hmm.
and that was because one of the parts of it was like, can we like get rid of these guys already?
Yeah. But they died pretty quick though.
Well, I mean, it was like what 10 minutes of running around.
They basically made the same joke for 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
that's they like
I got kind of tired. I'm like, okay, we get it. Hey, yeah, look, kind of.
yeah. To me it was like just when it was starting to feel a little much, then it kind of stopped and I was like, okay, this is, and then they stopped and I was like, okay, this is good.
Sad to say, I'm glad they didn't live.
Oh, I'm happy their characters were gone too, because that led to Nevada coming in with a monster truck and saving the day at the end of the movie. That was amazing.
Yes, the monster truck sequence was a lot of fun.
Oh, there was this one shot I wanted to talk to you about. Is when what you call it, the Woody Harrelson clone and Jesse Eisenberg clone, they were bitten and they were turned into two T-800s, and then it was like basically like a tracking shot for like that fight. I thought that was pretty cool. Like there was a lot of like editing tricks that they used in that, like but I thought the tracking shot was pretty cool in there.
Did not notice that. I was, yeah. No, yeah, I did like the shots here. They were all really good, and what I thought was fun was like the amount of like Elvis references throughout this whole movie.
Yeah, so personally, like I don't like Elvis. I think that
I thought he was okay.
like I think he stole too much for me to like actually respect him as like an actual musician. But like, so like I don't like, the hype is just not for me. But like I don't know. Woody Harrelson's character loved Elvis, which kind of fits in with his character. He didn't. There's no more Twinkies, so I guess he loves just focusing on Elvis now. But there was a lot of Elvis references. Like
Yeah.
even the end credits had Elvis.
I kind of wish it was like they kind of like dialed it back a bit on that.
I did too, because I was like, like I said, Elvis isn't really my thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you think of the gun-free society?
I was surprised they last as long as they did. Honestly.
Group sex. You gotta have group
Oh yeah,
sex.
So if you show up with your guns, you get rid of your guns, and they melt them down.
They melt the guns right in front of you.
And then they melt down a metal peace sign out of the guns that they melted. And yeah, you're.
The two rules are no guns and no group sex.
Yeah,
That was it. Those are the two rules.
that was it.
Except that one guy wanted to keep having group sex, and he tried to make the same joke like 6 times. Group sex? Group sex?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, no group sex. Okay, group sex. Like stuff like that.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it was interesting. But you're like, wow, they live in a tower, and they have a whole bunch of fireworks. They have weed, and they
They were
have parties.
like the fireworks. I was like, come on, these guys are so. I mean, like like when there's the one scene like when Tallahassee he's like leaving and he hits one of the zombies when he's driving away. The zombie pops up like and like pops everything back into place and then keeps and like there's a herd behind him that are all running. I was like, okay, this just turned into Zombieland to like World War Z, and I was like, okay, this is doing it. I thought the mutations were like the natural progression of this film, and I was like, okay, this is very like 2000 and like 2009s, like going back to then. I was like, I love it though.
It was a lot of fun. I did like the music they threw in and throughout the movie. Yeah.
Not the intro. They played Master of Puppets. I was so happy. Sounded so good in that theater. I was like, this is great. That's how you start off a movie with me liking it. You play Metallica right in the beginning and have a montage of like these ridiculous zombie kills. Zombie kill of the year is there now, which had some pretty gruesome kills in this. Like,
oh, I love the Tower of Pisa. That one was the best one. You had this Italian guy who had these mannequins dressed up as like tourists, and he was calling out to some bombies. No, calling out to the zombies, asking for like help to for like I don't know for group photo or directions or something. And then they start running out the mannequins, and he just has like this jack that gradually starts to the Tower of Pisa over. Crash. And I was like, okay, honestly, that's probably the most hilarious kill ever.
Yeah. And then I like the Woody Harrelson kill at the very end when he ran and jumped and grabbed the hook, and then all the zombies jumped off.
I thought his character was going to die.
I did too, and I was about to start freaking out. I was like, no.
I was like, is he gonna? I thought it was gonna be like a lemming situation, that he was gonna fall off, and
he said sacrifice. He's like, no one will forget this sacrifice, and I was like, no, he cannot die.
Oh, because he was talking about his Blackfoot ancestry, that the hunt the wild buffalo.
Oh yeah, that's what they were going for that.
Yeah,
okay,
they mentioned the mall like, my ancestors were Native Americans, Blackfoot to be exact. And they would, they'd drive a herd of buffalo off a cliff, but it required a sacrifice. And so, like that. So that was like that was the reference at the end.
Well, they didn't have hooks back then.
No, so it was a legit sacrifice.
Yeah,
but
I didn't even catch the sacrifice part. Like I was just like, they would herd the buffalo by running off a cliff, and I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't even hear the sacrifice part. See, this is why you're here for us. Like, you catch the things I don't. Like in Joker, I didn't even know that the girlfriend was all in his head. And in this movie, I just completely zoned out when he was saying that. Some
things I remember really well from just watching the movie in the store, but you get the tracking shots and sides pretty well.
Yep.
But yeah,
got to. It's why we're here. Do two different perspectives. See, I thought the movie was an 8. He thought it was like a 3. So
whoa. I said a 6.
I know.
3 times 2.
I know. 3 times 2 is 5. And I kid. Crap. It was a lot of just like there wasn't a lot of like plot. It was basically just Little Rock is gone, find Little Rock, and meet characters along the way. Like it was a lot about like the journey on the destination, and like I loved the references. The references made this movie for me. Like they did like a million callbacks to the first Zombieland. Like they had the Mountain Dew Code Red, and they were like, "Oh, you almost got Murrayed. I almost Murrayed you." And he was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't know? Someone killed Bill Murray because they thought he was a zombie."
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" And I thought that was amazing.
Speaking of Bill Murray, awesome end credits.
Okay, so we went back to Zombieland. It took us back to 2009, and then it showed Bill Murray just take like all of a sudden he was doing this interview for Garfield 3, and then all of a sudden all the zombies, like all the people turned into zombies, and he was just going ham on all of them and like killing them in hilarious ways, and it was just it was amazing.
It was like I was watching him like, he's pretty badass.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
I mean, heck, he was a Ghostbuster.
He did. I think he did a Ghostbusters reference. I think he said like, "I'm not afraid of no ghost" or something after he hit like a zombie or something, which I thought was funny. Yeah. Yeah. This is fun. This is a fun movie. In the minivan, he kept having to go back to that minivan, and it was like just killing him, and it was so funny because like he would get a new car, that car like tires would explode. Like Jesse Eisenberg, he was like, "I'm not going in the clown one." They finally get their car back. It gets run over by a monster truck. He get the monster truck. He totals the monster truck. The minivan.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate. But, like, it looks like... Oh, and I also liked how it ended where they finally get the pink Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And, he made a new rule. It was like, it takes a real man to drive a pink Cadillac or something.
Was that the new rule?
That was like earlier in the movie. He was referencing to like the car that Elvis drives. It was
yeah.
And so it was like, yeah, it takes a real man to drive a pink.
Oh,
Cadillac.
when Tallahassee made the rule, he was like, and said rule number 1, and then he was like, screw it, I'm not doing that.
And he ends up doing it.
I loved. Does it say that rule when he's driving? Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh no, not when he was driving. Early on the movie.
Oh, I thought like when it showed Tallahassee. I thought you were saying like when it showed Tallahassee driving it at the very end, it showed the rule above him because like the rules were a lot more prevalent in this movie than the last one. Like the graphics were. It really showcased the graphics on this one.
Yeah, especially when it was like the Jesse and his double talking. It was like because the Jesse double had commandments and he had rules.
The 1-ups were real.
Oh yeah.
It's like not like this is a competition or anything. Then they would say, yeah, but I'm just gonna 1-up you. And
those were a lot of 1-ups.
Yeah, like the whole thing. It was a fun ride. What do you think of the Babylon setup? I thought like when it like zoomed out and it showed like the whole thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I really liked it. Baby Lawn.
It's Baby Lawn. What?
That's what Blonde Ditzy called it.
I know. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
It was a really funny movie. Like this is the funniest movie I've seen in a minute.
Yeah, I would admit this year there just hasn't really been any comedy that's really struck out to me.
No, there hasn't been. I haven't seen a good comedy in theaters since. Have you seen the movie The Nice Guys?
It rings a bell.
It's with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, and that was the funniest. That's still the funniest movie I've ever seen in theaters. And like I give that movie like a 9 out of 10. It was fantastic. And but this one was I was dying laughing like the whole time, basically. Very annoyingly, I assume to everyone else next to me. But this was very funny. It's a very funny movie to me.
Speaking of comedies, I think one of my all-time faves has got to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, I never heard of that either.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic with Steve Martin and John Candy.
Okay. But back on topic.
Zombieland,
double tap.
I love the name of the sequel title.
Yeah, double tap, quadruple tap, sixtuple tap.
Yeah, they got
9 up double.
Whatever 9 triple, whatever 9 upple is. No, I really liked it. I just wish there was more ninja. I'm gonna more dial back on the Elvis references and a little less over the top, but
they can't pull the over the topness though. It's a Zombieland. It's Zombieland. That's what people want with this movie.
It was enjoyable.
It was extraordinarily enjoyable. I had a great time seeing this movie. Like I'm not sitting there like thinking like, oh no, emotion. I have to feel emotions. Like feel bad for the characters and like go through the whole process. I don't have to be annoyed at the bad CGI because the CGI in this movie was extraordinarily better than Gemini Man.
That's very true.
And that's annoying because Gemini Man had like a big budget, and this movie do you know how much movie this movie made on this first week?
It was over. I think it was over 35 million.
Over 35? Is it ahead of Gemini Man right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because Gemini Man does not deserve that. Yeah, the trailer. I wasn't really hyped for the trailers on this one either. But I was like, well, I have to see it because it's Zombieland Part 2, and
Yeah,
I love the
well,
first one so much.
yeah, trailers are tricky. You gotta be careful how you judge them.
Trailers will make or break a movie, to be completely
Well,
honest.
especially for opening weekend.
Yeah, and what you call it? Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. I really liked this movie. Really liked it. Like this is a must see for me, for sure.
Yeah, this would definitely go in my October movie collection.
Oh yeah, to like watch in October.
Oh yeah, yeah. Zombieland's there, and the sequel's going to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
This is something I would watch probably annually.
So this is a little off topic, but it's something I want to ask you while we're here talking about October Halloween movies. This is real quick. What is your like favorite? What is like one of your favorite movies to watch on Halloween? Like that's like scary.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
And I kind of put you on the spot.
Well, one's is one that features Johnny Depp. It's I put it up there because it had scared me as a kid for a long time.
Is it Edward Scissorhands?
No, that didn't scare me.
Okay.
But it was Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp.
See, I've never actually seen that.
It's a Tim Burton film.
He did Sleepy Hollow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I actually have to check that out then.
Yeah, it's a Tim Burton movie. Now you have to remember, like, I saw this movie as a kid.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Freaked me out. Like I had like almost a whole week of nightmares just after seeing that movie.
Jeez.
Yeah. Anyways, but I watch it now and I'm like, I appreciate the film more, and I'm like, what was I scared of? I've seen a lot of things worse now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's definitely I just love the cinematography. It's a beautifully well shot film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by any means the best Halloween film, but it's close to my heart. I like it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. And if you like Tim Burton films, if you like Johnny Depp as an actor, then you would definitely enjoy this film for sure.
Yeah. I have to check it out because I love Johnny Depp and I like the story of Sleepy Hollow, so I have to check it out. Mine is Crimson Peak. Did you see Crimson Peak when it came out? It came out in theaters it's with Tom Hiddleston and the rest of the actors I don't know. It's directed by
I have not.
Guillermo del Toro does the directing.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and like it's super atmospheric, and I love the set design and the cinematography, and the story is really cool. I think I saw it in theaters like 3 times. It was
Is it pretty scary?
So it's not even that scary. It's scary in a sense that there's not a lot of jump scares, but it's very like atmospherically scary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have our homework. You watch Crimson Peak and you'll check out Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, for sure. But back to Zombieland. We keep going off topic on this one. It's Halloween. We got to talk about scary movies sometimes.
Right. Zombieland. What else do you want?
I think I basically covered everything I wanted to talk about. Like, it was really over the top. I really loved it. It's a huge callback to the first one. I think that it's part 2 to the first one, and you have to see the first one to really like enjoy this one, which I'm choosing not to look at that as a weakness. I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm sticking by my rating of an 8. And if you loved the first one or liked the first one, I recommend watching this one because it'll make you laugh. So, yeah, I think that's everything I had to say about it. It's really over the top. It's really fun. Really dig it.
Very enjoyable, and I'm still giving a good old solid 6.
Yep.
So 6 and 8. What makes it a 7?
Yeah.
Combined?
I was looking on IMDb. It has like a 73%.
Okay, so I'm not
7.3. So you're not like off.
No.
It rounds down to a 7, so that's kind of where we landed. So I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. I say so, yeah.
I think that's a pretty good rating for this movie. Like when I saw the rating before I saw this movie, I was like, "Oh, okay, so if it's a 73, then this is going to be a good movie." I think the first one has a 7.6. But
I still give the first one a 7.
okay. Oh, so you think that the first one was better than this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair statement, to be honest. Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
All I have to say. So.
And what are we seeing next week? To be announced.
I think we're seeing Doctor Sleeper midway.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're seeing Doctor Sleeper midway. We're not sure yet, but you'll find out.
All right.
Thank you for watching, listening, whatever, however you enjoy this show. Thank you, and please like, comment, subscribe. Guys know what to do, and let us know what you thought of the movie and what what you liked, didn't like about it. I would love to hear you. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode. So
and click the bell.
Yeah, click the bell. Peace out, guys.